called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life.
I don't have a clock. Is it 11? Where's the chime? Is it? The chime has gone missing.
It was done. I bet it's done.
Yes. Would you tell me when it went 11? Yep. All right. I love that sound, and it continues to go out like the love that's here. Good morning. Please find your seats. And we can all prepare our hearts for this morning's service. Great. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. I think all of you probably know, but our minister is Reverend Stephen Robinson. I'm Rebecca Drennan. I'm the service leader for today. On those Sundays that Stephen isn't here, we have wonderful speakers that come from the congregation and from the wider community. We want to make a special welcome to those that are joining us streaming and on YouTube. We welcome you. We invite you to come join us when you can. Please make sure that you check. All the announcements are in the back of the what we call the OOS, the Order of Service, and it's there, but it's also on the website. And we have a very wonderful, active website. And also during the week, we have things that are sent out. So we hope that you will just check the weekly events as they come. I think they come every Thursday. So you can keep up with what's happening. Because of the COVID restrictions, the board is asking or recommending that you wear masks. They're not mandated, but be careful, not too close. Practice all the best that you know. For parents of children that are here, if your kids are wanting anything to play with during the time of the meeting, toys and books are at the back. I think Liz and Phil have helped us with some pretty flowers today. We're just grateful for that. And before we begin the service, I wanted to ask Robin Scher to come forward and make an announcement.
Hello. My name is Robin Shearer, and I am honored to be serving as the Finance Chair of the UUCC for this pledge drive. So the Finance Committee is the committee that owns this gala event, and also the really fun part that I'm sure you all look forward to, which is the creation of the budget. Can't tell you how much fun that is. So this year's theme is called Growing Community Connections and Compassion. Obviously, as everyone knows, for the last 3 years, we kind of been holed up in our own little bubbles. And I think many of us have, well, we've certainly limited our connections just to those folks in that bubble. You know, we basically, a lot of us have been at home. We've been kind of cocooning. And I think now, well, in that process, we've kind of lost, some of us have kind of lost our ability to establish and build relationships. I think a lot of folks have just turned internally. And even though a lot of the more acute or pandemic aspects of COVID have, in a sense, been mitigated by vaccines and those types of things, and mask wearing for some time, at least we know now how to treat it, et cetera, still, we are dealing with the consequences of that fairly long period of hibernation. So that's why this year, well, we have an opportunity to grow. The UUCC, our community has survived all the challenges posed by COVID. You know, we did remote services and things like that. We have adapted to change by doing those things. And Anna in particular has done a stellar job of providing outstanding music and bringing that to the online services. But now we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to come back together and learn how to interact and connect together. And this is a very energizing, a very exciting time when we can rebuild those relationships and also come together to have a voice in our local community and ultimately in the world at large. So as we look toward coming back together, let's refocus on why we came to the UUCC. For some of us, it's a sense of acceptance and belonging. For some of us, it's learning, support, and inspiration to set a spiritual path. For others, it's to have a stronger voice, many voices together in sharing our values, and to advocate for those values in a society that increasingly seems to ignore our common humanity and connectedness. It is time to rebuild and strengthen our foundation for the future, and we're asking everyone to help. Pledges form roughly 85% of the money that this congregation needs for its programs and its outreach and its caring and building of our community. You know, the fact that the lights are on, the fact that we have a building, the fact that we have a minister, that we've got the technical crew here to make sure that we can talk and we can come together. All of those things require your help to make them happen. In the coming year, we look forward to growing our community, reestablishing our connections, and spreading compassion both within our congregation to make up for those feelings of loneliness and isolation, and also to spread compassion and that message in our engagement with the world. We look forward to connecting with each of you. Thank you. There'll be a brief presentation following the service, just to talk a little bit more about the numbers. I can be pretty wonky, but I tried to stay very high level this year, so look forward to seeing you then. Oh, last one. If you pick up your pledge card, you will get a ticket for a drawing. Hang on to that, because we're going to do lovely door prizes. Thank you much.
I believe I'm next on the program. My name's Annette Flavel. I did ask Rebecca if I would need subtitles today for you all to understand me. She said I was okay. I'm going to talk to you about what I value in this congregation, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? The UUCC, or the Uni Coco. What I value let me tell you, first of all, I'm going to start my timer so I don't go over. Here we are. I'll tell you about my growing up, and that will give you a little bit of an idea of my values and connect that to this congregation. I grew up in rural South Australia and in what they call marginalised farmland. My grandpa and his 5 brothers, they farmed the eastern district of that town. And my grandpa was one of 10. So obviously it was the boys who had the farms, and the girls, the ones who didn't have the farms, they married other people who did have the farms. So in that community, I was related to half of the population and known by everybody. And this kind of being known and being related to everybody and growing up in such a tight-knit community gives you a really strong sense of identity, a strong sense of security, and I think it gave me the confidence to go out into the world. And that's what I've spent the better part of my life doing, going out into the world. But that base is really part of what I am looking for here. What brings me through the door at the UUCC is community. So that's my answer. If you ask me what do I value about this congregation, it's community. I also wrote you a little poem while I was out walking this week because I've got to lose a few pounds, so I have to go walking now. All right. And this is called Everything is Okay at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. If you're a Buddhist, Catholic, Anglican, Muslim, atheist, agnostic, animist, that's okay. You're welcome here. If you're trans, gay, bisexual, non-binary, or just working it out, that's okay. If you're a woman married to a woman, a man married to a man, if you're not married, if you're divorced, if you're widowed, that's okay. You're welcome here. If you're an activist, a pacifist, a supporter of workers' rights, a supporter of women's rights, an environmentalist, a socialist, a capitalist, that's okay. You're welcome here. So that's a little bit about why I've come through the door. Because I'm looking for community, that sense of security in my newly adopted current city, and it's all of those things that I mentioned in my little poem that I value about the Uni Coco.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Aren't we lucky to have Annette with us? That's great. I just wanted to be sure to ask that you silence your any phones that you have, and we'll prepare and hear from Anna next.
This morning we welcome Encore up to the front to share with us our prelude music. This church is your church. Encore is directed by Richard McLeod, and this arrangement and the new lyrics are also by him.
Church is my church, this church is your church, this congregation, it is our family. Sunday sermons. I love the music, especially encore. When I attend here, the Spirit fills me. This church was made for you and me. So keep on giving. We need your money to keep on growing and pay our light bills, to pay employees and balance budgets. This church was made for you and me.
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask all of you that are able and would like to stand and join with the congregational affirmation. It's found in your printed order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is a sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Thank you. You may be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. We are a covenantal religion, which means we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. As Unitarian Universalists, we side with love, embracing all people regardless of age and color, race, well, just like Annette was saying in her poem, economic status, physical ability, or religious background. We've even been designated by the UUA, the bigger denominational organization. We're called a welcoming congregation. And that means that we welcome LGBTQ plus individuals. And then we also especially invite families and young children, and at times have a nursery. I'm not sure today what we've got, but I know we've got lots of kids here, so we're happy. We encourage everybody to wear name tags, and we just want to know each other and know each other better. The board members have green name tags, and they always are open to your comments and questions and suggestions. I'm wondering if you would stand if you're a board member so people can see you. Yeah, if you have a question, thank you so much. You can ask them. At this time, we love to recognize any guests or visitors who are here today, and if you're willing and able to rise and share your name with us and where you're from, or if you have guests with you, please feel free to introduce them. Wait, and a microphone will come around to you. Takes a bit of bravery, but here we go.
Hi, I'm Aisha, and this is my family. This is Miriam, Ali, and Omar. It's our first time. We're Muslim.
Lovely.
you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here, back here.
Hello, I was here last time, but
Yeah.
I'm here again. So
Lovely.
you hooked me in. I'm Noah, and I'm agnostic, and I'm from here. So
Lovely, Noah. Thank you. Wonderful. Over here, too.
Yeah, I'm running.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not that fast.
My name's Ricky, but you can call me Ray. It's a shortened version of my name. I'm from Columbia, and I'm a spiritualist.
Lovely. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you all. Thank you all. So if you're interested, you could fill out a visitor card. We have visitor cards in the back of the seats. And all this does is gives us your email or your phone so that you could be texted or emailed with the events of the church. And we have a policy, we never come unexpected to your door. So don't worry about that. We just ask that you remember masking maybe, or at least distancing. And during this time, I'm going to suggest that all of you turn around or stand up and greet somebody beside you or somebody you haven't seen for a while. We'll give you about 2 minutes. Okay, here's that. This is important. I didn't know what CYR was.
Yeah, they're actually taking All right, if you can return to your seat, we'll get our service started. I can get it from here.
Oh, yeah, I don't have to say anything for the church.
You're good.
Oh, I have to light it, or you're going to light it?
I'll light it.
Perfect.
All right, if this is your first time at the UUCC, then it's important to know that we always start our service after we finish our announcements and our welcome with the lighting of our chalice, which is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. So this morning, I share this as we light our chalice. It's entitled "The Oil in the Chalice" by John Saxon. The light of our chalice would soon flicker and die without the oil that nourishes its flame. And just as this flame cannot burn without oil, this religious community cannot survive or thrive without the financial as well as the personal support of its members and friends. The oil that keeps the flame of our liberal religious faith alive and fuels the shared mission and ministry of this fellowship. So let us give freely and generously to sustain and strengthen our shared religious community, a community of memory, hope, faith, and love, for we are all now keepers of its flame that burns for justice, its dream of beloved community, and its vision of a world made whole. Spirit of light and life, come to us.
I invite you to join in singing hymn number 38, Morning Has Broken. It's in your gray hymnal. Please stand as you're willing and able to join in singing. I ask any children that would like to join me down front for our story for all ages. Please do so. Some of you are already down here. Anybody want to come down? Good morning. Give everybody a chance to get here. Good morning. All right. Is this everybody? All right, last one. Very interested in the microphones, as always. Good to see you all. Sorry if I got a little yellow stuff on my pants. Anybody know what that is? Pollen, yes. Y'all know, anybody? You have terrible allergies with pollen, so. There you go. I'm just kidding, I don't have any on me. I was walking through the woods though, and I did find something covered in pollen on the ground, and I kind of need your help if you can tell me what it is. I didn't want to bring it in because I wasn't sure if it was safe, so I took a picture of it, so I'm going to show you a picture. I think it's some kind of bug. So.
It's an acorn.
Oh, it's an acorn bug. That's what I was afraid of. I could tell, like, that little antenna there.
No, it's like it comes from a tree. It's not a bug.
It's an insect that lives in a tree. I got it, yeah.
It's not a bug.
Y'all have heard of these insects, acorns that live in a tree? Huh? It's an acorn, right.
It's basically like
Squirrels eat these bugs? Did you?
not bugs.
It's got a hat.
They're not bugs.
Obviously,
No,
it's.
it's like a shell.
Everybody see it?
It's like a shell.
Does everybody see the hat?
It's like a shell.
With the.
hat.
See, the hat keeps the antenna safe for the little bug. Y'all know? Y'all see? No? And all right, an acorn, like it's kind of like a beetle. What is it then?
It's like a seed.
I got it. It's an It's not an animal. All right. It's not a bug. It's not an insect.
It's an acorn.
So what is an acorn? Oh, it's a seed. So what? Man, thank y'all for clearing that up. I could have brought that in. It wouldn't bite me.
No.
Nope. All right, that's good. Not even under that little hat. No. Nope. All right.
It's like a shell.
Oh, it's a shell for the acorn. I got it. Thank y'all. That was really. Now I can really enjoy kind of walking through the woods. So what should we do with an acorn? What's the best thing to do with an acorn?
Plant it.
You can plant it?
Yeah, then you can make a tree.
Really?
Then you can feed it to a squirrel.
What? No, I know I just have a picture of it here, but it's really tiny. It was like that big. And trees are huge. So
Yeah, trees are like this, basically like
yes,
you
about
plant it,
exactly that size.
the tree grows. You know how a human grows? The tree
Oh,
grows.
so if I plant it in the ground, so let me see. Would it do something like that?
Yeah, it would do something like that, and then
What?
it would like start growing bigger and bigger.
So, wow. So that's as big as it gets right there?
No, it's big.
Are these the antennas?
No.
No. All right. So it's not thank you. I forgot.
They're like
It's
baby
not a bug.
branches.
All right. So if we plant it in the ground, is that all we got to do is plant it in the ground? What else we got to do?
You have to water it.
You have to give it some
and make
water.
Sure it has sunlight.
Sunlight. All right.
And it
Some
has
good
to be
soil.
You can't like.
All right.
Rocks.
So if I do all that, will this eventually happen?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful oak tree, I think. I didn't ask John ahead of time. So, very cool. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. That helps me know that this little thing can grow up to be this big thing if you plant it in the ground, if you water it, if you give it, make sure it gets sunlight.
You know how humans grow big?
We have to plant ourselves in the ground?
No.
No. We get hats, though, like this.
We can have.
We can have hats. All right. Very cool. Well, you've heard us talking about the pledge drive this morning. Yep. So this is our time of year here at the church where we start thinking about what we want to plant in the ground, because you know what? Ultimately, as you've heard people talking about our church, we want our church to be big and healthy and strong like this. So just like if you want an acorn to become this and be strong and healthy, you have to do a lot of work to make sure it's that way. So that's what our pledge drive is all about.
Start off in a pot, and then
Right.
once it gets too big for the pot, you put it in the ground.
That's a good plan.
Because like if you just leave it on the ground, someone could step on it.
Not to mention someone mentioned squirrels.
Yeah.
Squirrels are hungry. I see them. They're running around. They can fit a couple of those in their mouth, can't they? Yep. So as you hear us talk about the pledge drive this morning, and maybe you don't understand everything that we're doing, but one thing you can think about is our pledge drive is helping our church be healthy and strong. So encourage everybody you see, especially those adults out there, say, hey, I need a healthy and strong church. All right? Look them in the eye and tell them that. Maybe stand up right now and just tell them, say, hey, I need a healthy and strong church.
I need a healthy and strong church.
Thank you. I agree. Thank you for coming down this morning. I believe, Nancy and Bethany and Jonathan, if y'all see them back there, you're welcome to follow them out this morning for some CYRE activities. Thank you. I know y'all couldn't see the looks on their faces, but I think they basically think I'm a moron. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's all right. In the dynamic of minister and parents, you can be the smart ones, all right? That's quite all right. As we move to this point in our service, we always light candles of community for those joys and those sorrows that we are bringing into this place. We have candles that are in our foyer that you can grab, 7 of those each Sunday. So at this time, we invite you, if you've gotten one of those candles and you would like to share a joy or concern, please come. Please keep it brief so that others can share and we can honor our time together.
We're sharing a candle. Let me go first, and you can light it. Without opening my mouth, you probably know why I'm here. This first Sunday after our event last Sunday, to say thank you to all who were a part either here or remotely. Thank you to our technological clever people who made remote happen for our partner church fundraiser. The light refreshments that were advertised turned into sort of thought of as a grab and go, turned into a sit down visitation and feast because of all the wonderful food that was brought in and the clever hands of the kitchen crew which arranged it so beautifully. The entertainment was very special, as always, with Anna and Karen, and a lighter touch with Richard, and a novelty foxtrot at intermission. I must say, financially, we did very well, between $3,000 and $4,000. And folks were very generous even if they weren't here. And part of the success was that we had folks from the larger community join us, and that was really counts a lot. And not only our church, partner church in Besterțe, Transylvania, Romania, will see the benefit, but you too will share in that when this late June, early July, we host our wonderful minister from Zolt, from there with a younger member of his congregation, and it's a real treat to be in his presence. So you all have something to look forward to.
I thought I should give up my candle. It was the last candle in the basket to a better cause. But I did want to say this is my last Sunday in person. I do, now that since the pandemic, get up early in Portland, Oregon, and look at the service thanks to our tech group and live streaming, and belong to the Story Circle. But this has been a special time, and I appreciate you welcoming me back. I belong to this church and the Portland Church, First Unitarian there. So I belong and I keep up with you, but you've all been so generous, and some of you have lent me your cars and trusted me with your cars and your cat care and some other things. So thanks for welcoming me back so much.
Good morning. My name is John Starino.
And I'm here, well, let me share a little story about my mother. My mother was a person that would send cards to people and made note of birthdays and anniversaries and like it, even from people that really didn't like her, she would send cards to. So I'm here because yesterday is one of the most agonizing anniversaries that I've ever lived through. 6 years ago, yesterday, is the anniversary of when my house burned down and I lost the life of my wife. This candle is in memory of that, and also to share, because of this community with compassion and love, I'm returning the love with this candle that I received from many members here, strangers, friends. This candle is for you. Thank you.
I'm Regina Moody, and when you get this old and you've been around this long, you have to have technology, so please forgive me. Okay, I said my name. This place has been my spiritual community for many, many years. This morning, I want to light a candle of gratitude for two women who have shaped and enriched my life, both of whom I met here. Both of them are in their 9th decade. They never knew one another, but I knew them. Last weekend, I had a day and a half in Atlanta visiting with Minnie. Our friendship goes back to 1975 here. Then this past week, I said goodbye to Barbara as she relocates to Charlotte, North Carolina. I have known Barbara only a few years, and only when she showed up here with her dramatic recreations of Ivy Rowe and Granny D and went to work establishing our UUCC Story Circle. Now that Story Circle has generated 2 more. So to these strong and loving women,
good morning. I'm Morgan McLaughlin. I'm lighting a candle so that I can tell you all at once and won't have to tell you individually that I got these wonderful decorations on my face accidentally. Mary and I were in a gentle yoga class on Friday, and I was just sitting there and the class was about to end, and I managed to fall off a straight back chair onto a hard floor. And so anyway, that's why I look like this.
Good morning. My name is Linda. I'm kind of not really shy because I talk a lot. I got bad news from my doctor on Wednesday, but I'm okay with it. And another thing that I'm happy about, I've been getting a lot of phone calls from people that I just met, and they told me what all I should do about my situation. So I'm just staying strong. Only thing I hate, I can't eat nothing that I used to eat. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Joe Daggett. This doesn't have the emotional profundity that the other presenters have had, but it's a kind of a candle of recognition for somebody in our congregation, Elizabeth Harris. She's not here today, and I'll tell you why and where she is in a second. She's a court stenographer, and she was the court stenographer for the recently concluded Alex Murdaugh trial down in Colleton County. Now, if you're watching that on TV or some other video source, You're in a position to get up and go to the bathroom, pop a beer, stop paying attention, or anything else you feel like doing at any point in time. But she was unable to do that and had to sit there and listen and record to the whole 6 mind-destroying weeks of that legal process. Then she did a smart thing. When it was over, she pulled the ripcord and got the heck out. Not just of Walterboro, South Carolina, but out of the USA. She's over in England right now, drinking Lord Grey tea and I hope other stronger beverages.
Good morning. My name is Lydia Ureta, and I'm lighting a candle for my dad today. He moved back here, retired from Belgium. Maybe you've seen him come and visit a few times. He medically retired because he was diagnosed with brain cancer. So he's been receiving treatments over the past year, and 2 weeks ago he did have surgery to remove a tumor from his brain. He's recovered remarkably. He's doing very, very well. So this is a candle of joy for his surgery and his recovery, and for hopefully his journey forward and his treatment forward will continue to be easy and painless.
I light a candle today for my daughter, Sarah, who turns 15 this week. And a couple of things around that. I'm going to be slipping out right after the service because my college daughter said I have about a 2-hour window to actually bless my presence with lunch with her today. So we got to get over there. And then the other thing, I need some help from you because I've kind of convinced Sarah that the driving permit age is 25. It just if you can reinforce that, you know, if you see her, just say, you know, I can't believe it. They changed it right last week. And then our last candle that we always light are for the silent joys and concerns we bring in this place. If you can please join me for just a few seconds of silence to think about all that we've heard this morning. As we prepare for our offering this morning, it's my pleasure to introduce our representative, Bill Stangler, to come and share a little bit about our recipient this month, the Congaree River Keeper.
Good morning. So my name is Bill Stangler, and I am your Congaree River Keeper. I had a few things that I wanted to share with y'all, but I did not realize it was Botany Day at the Uni Cocoa. So in addition to the wonderful lesson we had about acorns, during the greeting portion, Tom Clements walks up to me and holds out some seeds in his hand. He says, "These are river oats," and I've spent the last 10 minutes trying to remember the Latin name for that from my TA days as a botany TA at USC. It's Chasmanthium latifolium. Look it up, I kind of did. I was right the first time. So I run a local nonprofit organization here in Columbia called Congaree River Keeper. We work to protect the 3 rivers, the Broad, Saluda, and Congaree, and all the tributaries. We do everything from organizing volunteer cleanups to collecting water quality samples, commenting on permits, doing pollution investigations, picking fights at the State House, and dragging polluters into court. This is a unique year for Riverkeeper. We are celebrating our 15th year as an organization. I know that we wouldn't have made it that long without the support of this congregation and individuals like y'all. And that support is even more important now because earlier this week we posted a job opening. So we're looking to double our staff. I'm hiring a technical field person who can go and do all that stuff I just mentioned and chase the sewer spills and pick up the trash and do the investigations so that I can focus more on all of that tedious work in the office that still needs to get done as well. But the basic idea behind Riverkeeper and the stuff that this congregation has been so generous in supporting over the years is the fundamental idea that these rivers belong to each and every one of us, that water is a common good, and that no one person or one company or one entity has the right to damage something that is communally held, that is something that is all of ours. So that's the idea behind my organization that I run, the 350 water keepers working around the globe on 6 continents, everywhere except Antarctica. We'll figure that one out eventually. And so I couldn't do that work alone, and I just wanted to thank you all so much, and keep your eyes on the newspaper or on our website, because there is a lot of stuff going on, and certainly a lot of opportunities for folks to get engaged. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Bill. It's always a pleasure to have you here. At this time, I invite our ushers to come and receive our morning offering.
We welcome back Encore for the offertory music, When the Saints Go Marching In, with new lyrics arranged by Richard McLeod.
Just one note first. We always have openings for Encore. So any men out there who can carry a tune and would like to join us, every other week we either practice or perform, we'd love to have you. So join us. Keep an eye on the bulletins for times and places.
When the saints go marching in, go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Oh, when the air is pure and clean, it's pure and clean. Oh, when the air
Linda's trying to pass the plate to Encore this morning. Receive our offering, the symbol of our good work. I know we had a lot on the program this morning, so I don't know that there's anything that I can say in a sermon that would match the children standing up and saying, we need the UUC to be healthy and strong. But we talked a lot about trees today, talked a little bit about pollen, which is that substance that is driving us crazy out there, but is necessary for the trees. Since trees are stationary, and I always, anytime I'm like talking about a subject like this, not only do I have botanists here, but now the Congaree River Keeper is here today. And so I'm just thinking, man, I'm going to really get some of this information wrong. And so you can put disclaimers on the website afterward. But I do believe that trees are stationary. So I got that part right? See, the facts keep coming. Acorns have antennas too. And because of their stationary place, they depend on releasing this substance of pollen for future growth, for the wind, for insects, and even some mammals to move from place to place. It is the sign of health. It is a sign of strength. It's the sign of roots that are planted deep and roots that are strong. And I think as a way of wrapping up our pledge drive, first Kickoff Sunday, I just want to simply say to the congregation here that our roots are strong. We're an interesting collection of individuals, each of us with our own gifts, our own life experiences, our own scars and wounds from life. But we've joined this intentional spiritual community whose roots go all the way back to the beginnings of religion itself. Here in Columbia, our roots go all the way back to the visions of the founders who saw the great need and potential for a liberal religious presence in this area. And even in this building whose roots sustained the Tree of Life Jewish community before they relocated to Trenholm Road. These roots are strong and deep and well mingled, forming a firm foundation for you and me to live into your promise as a congregation. Now, we know that we face challenges. We're living in a time where religious communities are losing members for lots of different reasons. We're also recovering from a global pandemic that Robin alluded to that has forever transformed our culture. You mix that with the fact that we're not an evangelical group who thrives on pouring all the energy to attracting crowds of people and converting people to one way of thinking and believing. But we do struggle to take this very valuable gift that we have here at the UUCC. We struggle to take this gift out to a culture who longs for, if you look at the front of your program, connection, community, and compassion. We're living in a time of uncertainty and unrest, unchecked violence and corruption, a time where loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression are some of the most common denominators of emotions. The allure of non-thinking fundamentalist and closed-off spirituality is losing some of its spark. And the culture longs for an open-minded, liberal oasis that supports a diverse group of people on diverse quest for truth and meanings in ways that can actually be helpful to deeper meanings of life, as well as the day-to-day struggles of life. That and the children that stood before you today are exactly the reasons why the strength and the health of this congregation is absolutely critical to life, to your life, to my life, and the lives past our walls into our world. So we focus and pour ourselves and our energy into connection, believing that spirituality is all about connection, learning how to connect to yourself and making sure that you stay connected to yourself, making sure that you stay connected to others, staying connected to something greater than yourself, whatever you name that is, whether it's God, whether it's a non-theistic way of seeing something greater than yourself. And of course, here at the UUCC, we really value staying connected to nature as well, and believe that your spirituality is all about connected. I remember telling someone one time that this is my understanding of spirituality. It's all about connection to nature, to something greater, to others, and staying connected to yourself. And for some reason, they looked down. I don't know if they could see the connection to themselves or if it was disconnected somehow, but it is something to think about. How do we stay connected to our very inner beings as well? We also value community, and isolation and loneliness are the emotional pandemic of our culture that's been exacerbated by the virus pandemic that has rocked our world. And we need a place that creates community for us, a place that grounds and refreshes us when we are worn out or worn down by life. We need a place that accepts us, accepts our family, a place that accepts all people and all families. We need a place where we can relax and experience the joyful wholeness of being seen and known while we do the work to see and know others. Research in the past few months show that 35% of the people in the U.S. experience what they call serious loneliness, with about 65% of young adults saying they struggle with the words severe loneliness. So beloved community is a word we toss around here a lot. It can't just be a cute phrase that we use to identify ourselves. It has to be an integrated mandate to our being here. Our culture and our future depends on the strength of this community. And of course, our last part of our tree is compassion, a place to receive it and to give it, a place where you can come and know that people care about what's going on in your world, a place where you can come and know when you light a candle of community, that's not the end of the conversation. Someone is going to follow up and make sure that you have the care that you need. But it's also a place where you can give compassion, a place where you can come and pour your energy into our world and transforming our world around us. So those are the 3 C's of the pledge drive this year. The motivation, and I'll add the 4th C of the children this morning. The children, connection, community, and compassion. Unitarian Universalist theologian Tom Owen Toole says that generosity involves open-heartedness, the cardinal ability to give lavishly of yourself to others, to the world around you, to the divine communal spirit in which we live, move, and have our beings. And then he says, which we are going to use also again as our closing words, generosity undergirds and underwrites all other values. Without generosity, one loves sparingly. Without generosity, our acts of justice happen rarely. Without generosity, we hoard our precious gifts of time and soul and other resources. So we come to this pledge drive today, kicking off this month of March with an invitation to invest in the future of the UUCC. As with any investment, we have to put a disclaimer out there. I was talking just a couple of weeks ago to the person, our representative for our investment at the other place where I work, the other job. And I said, what's the funniest thing that someone has ever said to you? And he said, I just said it yesterday. And they said, I would like you to put my funds in a high-risk fund that's also guaranteed to not lose money. Isn't that what we want when we invest? We want someone to say, hey, boy, you should look at this stock, put it here, and it's guaranteed to go up. Watch out. It's not guaranteed to do anything other than for gravity to take over. So I have to put that same disclaimer out here and say that if you choose to invest in the UUCC, I can't promise you that your investment here of resources, financial, time, and energy won't leave you feeling disappointed at times. We are a beloved community, but we're also a human community. We have the ability to heal. We also have the ability to harm. We have the ability to overcome oppression, and sometimes we can inflict it. We are a beacon for justice, a true beacon for justice, who can also act sometimes in unjust ways. So you're going to possibly have times of feeling unappreciated, unknown, disconnected, hurt, and lost. This is not a perfect community, but we are a good community. And I believe that we are the most hopeful oasis out there in the desert of our culture. We are a tree with strong roots whose limbs hold the power of connection, of community, and compassion, with the ability for each of us to become better versions of ourselves while we transform our world into a better place. And I will say the UUCC is worth the risk of investment, and I pledge mine today.
I invite you to join in singing our closing hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit. It's in your gray hymnal, if you can stand as you're willing and able.
As you remain standing, just hear the words again of Tom Owen Toll. Without generosity, one loves sparingly. Without generosity, our acts of justice happen rarely. Without generosity, we hoard our precious gifts of time and soul and other resources.
Please join me in singing the congregational benediction.
May the blessings of truth
This time I'd like to just take another opportunity to welcome our guests that were introduced themselves, to Ray, to Noah. Come one more time and you're no longer a guest. Third time's a charm. And then Miriam, or Aisha, Miriam, Omar, and Ali. Did I get all those right? Welcome. And to others that were here maybe that didn't get a chance to introduce yourselves, welcome to Bill for being a part of our fellowship this morning. Thank you for being here for our service. I know there's information in the fellowship area back there for the pledge drive, so make your way back there. Thank you for being here this morning.